Hello, I'm here with a look at the previews catalog from June 2024, the catalog for Diamond Distribution, and let's go ahead and jump in and see what's available for pre-order for comics. So starting with these individual catalogs, Marvel, DC, IDW. Actually, a couple things in the IDW, even though I still don't think they deserve to have their own catalog. An artisan edition, Jack Kirby Eternals, pencils and inks. They put out one of these devoted to some Kirby stuff before, though I'm having a hard time remembering what it was. This is going to have Eternals 2 through 5 and 7, it looks like. So, 176 pages, hardcover. Doesn't give the dimensions, but since it's an artisan edition, I'm sure it's smaller than the full-size artist editions. IDW also published one of these, I believe, with some of the Eastman and Laird Turtles stuff. So, maybe... if you're interested in something like this, this is a much more affordable way to check out some Kirby original art. In the not more affordable camp, one of the most long-desired artist editions, David Mazzucchelli's Batman Year One. That's the entire series, 14 by 21. It's big. I don't know what this is going to look like yet, obviously, but I'm very excited about it. Mazzucchelli had kept all the art all these years, so they were able to just do it all in one go. Has a new introduction by Mazzucchelli, all of his layouts, so very interesting. The book already exists. Scott Dumbier put on Twitter a picture of the book. He had received it, so it will be coming, hopefully on time. I'm very excited to see what it looks like. I have the Mazzucchelli Daredevil Born Again artist edition, and it is phenomenal. So I have high hopes for this one as well. We'll see. For DC, there was actually nothing in here I was interested in, but they had an ad at the back for the official reissue of the 1982 DC Comics Style Guide. This is basically all of the spec sheets for the characters and their supporting cast and surroundings, all done by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. If you are of a certain age, the Garcia Lopez version of these characters is sort of the definitive version because it was on toys and puzzles and, underwear probably, it was just the version. And this is the style guide. It's a 1-to-1 hardcover book. These go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars online when you can find them. And, it's been on my wish list for many years. I have no idea what this is going to cost, but I'm very excited about it. So I thought I'd spotlight it now, even though it isn't available yet. It says coming August of 2024, so I'm not sure why it wasn't in this issue. So who knows? Hopefully it'll be in next month's. Maybe they mean it's coming in August 2024 for pre-order. So, we'll see. Marvel, absolutely nothing. Let's get into the previews. Let's go the right way. That would help. So, from Image Comics, another artist edition style book, Savage Dragon Vault Edition, Volume 1. This is going to collect the original 3-issue miniseries and the first 5 issues of the regular series. Or it says additional material from Dragon 1 through 5. So, who knows what that means, but 144 pages, $150, 12 by 17. The only vault editions I know of are the Spawn vault editions, which I don't have. I didn't have any interest in those. I know they go for quite a bit of money on the resale market. So I don't know how well designed, how well presented this stuff is, but I have high hopes. I don't know whether I'll get this or not, but I'm certainly going to covet it. So I'll be thinking about it. From Ablaze, Osamu Tezuka's Neo Faust. 416 pages. Another nice big fat Tezuka book. One of, they don't have the ad here, it must be in the manga section. This is the 3rd or 4th book that Ablaze has listed. I'm not sure how many have actually shown up. But very exciting that they're putting out more Tezuka. Can always use more Tezuka. And then we'll jump quite a bit. This I'm just pointing out for the novelty. This is an Archie facsimile edition. I know DC and Marvel pump out these facsimiles like there's no tomorrow, but I'm not sure if Archie's ever done it. This is a very famous cover. Archie, did you have any trouble rescuing me? I sure did, Betty. I had to beat off 3 other guys. So because of that dirty joke, it is a very valuable comic and highly sought after by collectors. Kind of funny to me that Archie's leaning into it and publishing it to grab some money. But I'm sure a lot of people will pick it up because it's much cheaper than buying the original comic. So just an oddity. From Dark Horse, there's a new Gru series. Gru Minstrel Melodies. Don't know. I mean, it says #1. I have no idea if it's a mini-series or not. We will see. It says another hilarious Gru series. So, if that's true, I'd guess it's another 4-issue mini-series. Also from Dark Horse, Den, Volume 4, Dreams and Alarums by Richard Corbin. Resolicited, not surprisingly, like everything else from Dark Horse that I'm interested in. So, has appeared previously. It's here again. Hopefully it won't be canceled and offered yet again. A series that I've mentioned a couple times before, Innocent Omnibus Volume 3. I haven't read any of these yet, but the art is drop-dead gorgeous. So, not sure how many of them there are going to be in total. But if you come across one, just open it up and check out the art, if nothing else. Here's a book that may have been of interest to some people out there. From Beehive Books. This is a company that makes really gorgeous... they basically take novels, put them in hugely expanded editions that have illustrations by really great artists, including a lot of amazing cartoonists. Bill Sienkiewicz and Jim Woodring, you know, amongst others. This one is Pinocchio, an illuminated edition, and it has art from Mike Mignola. I saw an exhibit of this stuff in New York. I'm not a big Mignola guy personally, but it looked fantastic. I'm sure it'll be a gorgeous book. Beehive doesn't make anything that doesn't look spectacular, so just thought I'd mention that in case there's anybody out there that is a big Mignola fan. From Cinebook, here's a new, I don't know if it's a series or if it's just a 2-book thing. Black Mary, Volume 1 and Volume 2 are both here in the catalog. Written by Rodolphe. Art is by Chris Raitt. And I didn't bother to read what it was about yet, since I don't know whether I'm going to go for it. Also down here, Lonesome Volume 4 by Yves Swolfs. And this is kind of an ongoing Western series. Not sure how many they're going to be, but they're on Volume 4. From Clover Press. Here's a couple of books that I believe were kickstarted, and they're now available here in the catalog. Both really expensive for what they are. This first one here is Billy 99. Written by Sarah Byam. Art is by Tim Sale, who passed away not too long ago. And it's now been colored for the first time by Jose Villarrubia. It's $45 for 232 pages. I mean, it looks like a nice hardcover for sure. I feel like you can get the original Billy 99, either the issues or the trade that Dark Horse published. I can't imagine they're very expensive. So it really matters. Do you want it in hardcover, and do you want this brand new art on it, or brand new coloring on it? I don't know. I have read it, though it's been probably at least 20 years. I remember thinking it was all right, but not too memorable. But I thought $45 is pretty hefty for something that's been funded. Also a pretty hefty price. Woman and Man Plus. This is writer and artist is Craig Yo, who's generally known as a repackager of old comics. Kind of puts together rushed books about comics. Has a variable reputation depending on who you talk to. And this is a book of his cartooning. It looks like pretty standard sort of underground fare. Also, this one's $50. Like I said, for something that is funded on Kickstarter already, seems like kind of hefty, but I don't know. I'm not particularly interested in either book, but thought I would mention them. They are books of interest. From Epicenter. Blood and Ice, Masterwork, written by Tito Faraci, art by Pasquale Frizinda. Which leads me to believe that it was Italian. Yes, Italian. So, it's about Napoleon in the Russian winter, 1812. Looks interesting. Big book, 9 by 12, 142 pages. Also, Tex Patagonia, second signature. I'm not sure if that means second printing, because I'm pretty sure this book was already released maybe by Epicenter, maybe by somebody else. Written by Mauro Boselli. Art is by the same artist, Pasquale Frizinda. So, the textbooks are pretty interesting. They have lots of great artists that have worked on them, including Joe Kubert. So, I usually keep an eye out for those. From Fantagraphics, another pile of interesting books. Palestine, new edition. This is a nice hardcover. Has a new afterword. Otherwise, I think it is the usual book. You know, there were a group of people who were bitching about Fanta rushing this back into print after the events that are going on in Gaza, which was ludicrous at the time. The book had just sold out. I mean, they've printed this book more than 20 times. So they've kept it in print over the years. I think it's their second most reprinted book in the company's history. So, and they published it originally when, you know, they couldn't give it away when it came out in the original issues. So, anyway, very important book, very good book. Joe Sacco is one of the great living cartoonists. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it, regardless of what your bent is. What We Mean by Yesterday, Volume 1 by Benjamin Marra. Benjamin Marra, I believe he is serializing this on Instagram. There you go. And yeah, I've seen a copy of this book. It's a smaller size. It's a 5x7 squat little paperback, 380 pages. Much quicker style than what he's known for. I don't really know anything about the book other than that. Hate Revisited number 3. I believe this is a 4-issue series, so we're past the halfway point. Haven't read any of these yet. Looking forward to it. Iris, a novel for viewers. This is the first ever Dutch graphic novel from 1968. I have read this just recently. I really enjoyed it. The story isn't a whole lot to write home about, but the art is unbelievable. It's printed at a nice big size, 8.5 by 11.5. The colors are just sort of day glow, psychedelic, mod. Anyway, just fantastic art. Yeah, I don't know if that sells it to anybody or not, but I didn't go into it expecting very much, and I really enjoyed reading it. Enjoyed the experience. The Farewell Song by Marcel Labrume by Attilio Micheluzzi, which I probably butchered. I apologize. Looks like this is a part 1 of 2. And it looks like the Fantagraphics is planning on doing a Micheluzzi library, which will reprint all of his most significant works. So, anyway, consider me intrigued. I'm definitely interested in an artist they would devote that much time and energy to. Ground Zero Comics, Move Beyond Nuclear Weapons by Leonard Rifus, Max Klotfelter, Kelly Froh, David Lasky, Pat Moriarty. This is a 36-page comic, really in the tradition of underground comics, comic-sized. And it's basically what it sounds like, sort of against nuclear weapons. Leonard Rifus is a guy who did lots of undergrounds, educational comics through the 70s and 80s, and all these other people are younger than that. Not necessarily young, but younger than that. So, worth keeping an eye out for. 2 new ones from Fantagraphics Underground. Amalgam by Francis Jetter. I don't know anything about this. Haven't seen anything about it. It's $60. 10.8 inches by 14 inches. So it's going to be hefty. A hefty hardcover. Be interesting to see what it looks like. The Empty Lot by Mia Wolf. Another big one. 10 by 12. $50. This is a monograph of Mia Wolf's astonishing, beautiful paintings and a narrative of strange ecstasies amidst war. So, there you go. Fanta has published a couple of other books by Mia Wolf in the past, whose names escape me. What's next? All right, Floating World. Pretty sure this series was self-published. Maybe they're picking it up now. Vengeance is for the Living. The writer is Keenan Marshall Keller, who wrote The Humans, published by Image, drawn by Tom Neely. The art is by Alex Delaney. So I haven't read these, but I'm almost certain I've seen these before at conventions. Looks like it's sort of exploitation 80s action kind of stuff. I thought I'd mention it. Floating World is carving out a strange niche, which is great. More strange niches need to be carved out. From Kim Weston, who last year published a big book, Carl Barks Comics and Stories, Original Art Edition, The Complete Barks. This is volume 2. The last one had 9 stories. This one has 13. This one is massive, 18 by 26. The previous one was 14 by 20. So that's quite a big difference in size. There's also a big difference in price. The last one was $100. This one is $2.20. So there was some criticism of this, the first one, when it came out, that it wasn't strictly from the original art. It was from the artist's proofs. You know, so it might not be as pure to some people as others. I got the first one. I'm not going to get the second one, not because I'm sure it's going to be a big, beautiful book. 18 by 26 is huge. I just don't need that, especially not at $220. And while I really like Barks, I just don't need that much of that stuff. But anyway, thought I'd mention it for any obsessives out there. From Living the Line, pretty interesting looking, by Shirakawa Marina, UFO Mushroom Invasion. Looks like it's basically just a sci-fi comic from Japan. It's from 1976. It's a masterpiece of sci-fi horror. So, who knows? I don't know anything about it, but I thought I would mention it. Living the Line is another publisher that publishes interesting books that I don't always get, but they have unearthed some pretty interesting things over the years. Skipping forward a bit to Silver Sprocket, The Night Never Ends by Steve Thusen. It's a horror comedy graphic novel about turning 30. Don't know anything about it. Don't know who Steve Thusen is, but Silver Sprocket's another interesting publisher, so I thought I'd mention their stuff. Boy Island hardcover by Leo Fox. The name of Leo Fox's last book is really escaping me, but lots of people really loved it. Maybe Procreate Season. Does that sound right? Anyway, a new book. And then a new Caroline Cash, PP Poo Poo #1, one-shot. A recreation of the Charles Burns cover for Dope Comics. Looks great. 32-page comic. I assume it'll be oversized. Pardon me. Magazine size like the previous issues have been, but it doesn't say here. From Tomorrow's Comic Book Creator number 36. Looks like it's focusing on Tom Palmer. Best known for inking over Neil Adams and John Buscema. Also had some pretty nice art of his own. Yeah, so kind of an interesting choice. Not a guy I know a ton about, although I've read my share of comics with Tom Palmer's name in the byline. Don't know much about the man himself. There you go. And then in the manga section, I was earlier bemoaning how Dark Horse keeps canceling and soliciting all of their comics that I'm interested in, at least. Here's another one that I'm not sure who the publisher is on this. They Were 11. Oh, Dinpa Books, who I'm not familiar with otherwise. They Were 11. I believe this is at least the 4th time it's been solicited. So I have no idea what's going on there. I will maybe get to see it eventually one of these days. It's done by Moto Hagio, who Fantagraphics has published quite a bit of her work. So anyway, that's it for this month. Kind of a short month, though, packed with a bunch of expensive books. So that's always fantastic. If I ignored something you were excited about, let me know. If you have any comments about anything I did talk about, also let me know. Thank you.